Welcome to the City Show. Pat O'Melia here. That's why I do this show, and this is the last show for the season. The studio is going into hiatus. And what do you do in hiatus? You just hang around, do nothing, sit around? No, we do quite a bit. We start our summer show, Shore Show, that we film on the boardwalk in Seaside Heights. I was working on a car show. I don't know if that's going to happen in June, probably in September now. We try out new shows. We're thinking about doing a news show. Right now, I think it's going to be John Highness, myself, and Fernando Uribe. We're going to look at it as a 2 or 3 host show where we'll discuss everything that's going on in Hudson County from a news standpoint. I don't want to say it's like a counterpoint, but we'll figure out the mechanics of it. We're finally finishing the fine-tuning on Hudson Health. We got CarePoint involved. Basically, it's doctors you watch today, doctors you can see tomorrow, and we'll have a few of the other medical institutions in Hudson County. For that matter, we're looking at a sister show in Ocean County, Ocean Health. I need to finish my Glenn D. Cunningham program that we started prior to the pandemic, and that got everything, the pandemic threw everything into chaos. And I'm working on a high school program with the North Bergen High School where we will immerse juniors and seniors into all aspects of studio production. I mean, from behind the camera, in front of the camera, to audio, lighting, editing, creation, show running, directing, booking guests, social media, covering high school sports live via internet radio. It's completely immersing, and the goal there is to see if we can get these kids scholarships for those who want to go on to college. If not, see if we can have them trained well enough they can get jobs at the major production studios that are being built in the tri-state area. Actually, I won't even say tri-state, dual state area, Jersey and New York. So we will be quite busy during the hiatus. You will see me, and also I'm available. You can email us at any time. Don't forget all the stuff you see on the screen. Love us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, all that sort of stuff. When we get back, I'll lay out the show. You're watching I almost said the Shore Show. You're watching the City Show, and I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County because your heart doesn't beat just for you. So get it checked. When your bones are healthy, it lifts us all. We're delivering joy daily in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing and providing New Jersey's only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. We'll continue building our medical network and taking every precaution for your safety so that we can all be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
If you need to see a doctor, RWJ Barnabas Health has 2 easy ways to do it from anywhere. You can see an urgent care provider 24/7 on any device with our Telemed app. Or use our website to book a virtual visit with an RWJ Barnabas Health Medical Group provider or specialist, even as a new patient. You've taken every precaution, and so have we, so don't delay your care any longer. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
We're back. City Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there. Almost jumped the gun with the Shore Show. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Election Day. We just had the Election Day on June... What is that, the 8th? Tuesday. I think it was the 8th. No, June 6th. Election Day. Had some close races. Of course, we didn't have the numbers, and we'll get into that. We're going to talk about Jersey City going online with HEDC and the MUA for permits. That should be interesting. And there's talk about a redesign for Journal Square, for JFK Boulevard and Journal Square in Hudson County. We want to get into that. But first things first, Election Day. Oh, is it really like election week in Hudson County? It's amazing we can't get the numbers on election night. And it's always the same thing. And actually, the county clerk admitted it. It happens every time. Every time. They forget to get the cartridges out of the machines. Some people have one friggin' job, and that's to get the cartridge to the clerk's office so they can download the data. I don't even know why we're using cartridges. Can't we do this in the cloud? We got these new machines. I used them this last election. I could have used some more instruction on it, kind of used to the old ones. But, neither here nor there. We'll get the hang of the new machines. But will the county clerk get the hang of the new machines? Because they couldn't get the hang of the old machines. So why do we assume they're going to get the hang of the new machine? And why would we have another cartridge-based system? You don't even see that in video games anymore. It's Nintendo, and you don't see the cartridges anymore. Everything's in the cloud. Shouldn't this information just be transmitted through the cloud? And we have the paper backup for that? And it's amazing when the clerk's office, one of their employees, said, it happens every time. Well, it shouldn't happen every friggin' time that we don't have the cartridges. When you don't have the cartridges, you don't have results. And what happens, that casts a cloud over the election results, especially when you have close races. And we had a couple of close races. And you start to wonder, it affects the credibility of our elections. When we can't do the simplest part of the job, and that's to grab the cartridge. Yeah, I don't know if we need a team of cartridge recoverers. You're going to put them like in Volkswagen or something like the Geek Squad. The cartridge recoverers. And they go to all the polling stations and get the freaking cartridge. And get the information downloaded to the clerk. So on election night, we can have an idea who won. Not 2-3 days later, and then you got the app, and you're watching the app, and there's no districts reporting. Here we are. So I don't know. Last time I checked, I think it was like 11 o'clock, no district reporting. I got reporters texting me. I'm texting reporters. I have some political figures calling me saying, do you have any numbers yet? I said, no, nobody has any numbers. It's astonishing. The only ones we're getting, we had the runners that were at the clerk's office and trying to get as much information as possible. It shouldn't happen. If we can't have the cartridge recoverers go out and get the data, because you can't trust the clerk's office to do it because they never friggin' do it. Every time. We don't have all the cartridges. And you go to the judge, and the judge got to sign an order so we can open the friggin' machines. Do the job. Or get the cartridge recoverers. Or maybe what is even a simpler thing to do, why don't we just entrust the sheriff's department to get the cartridges? You know what? I guarantee our sheriff, Frank, I guarantee he gets the job done. At the end of the night, no matter how many election machines are out there, guarantee the sheriff would make sure we have that many cartridges. But it puts us in a bad light. It is bad optics when we constantly have the same problem, especially when you have some close contested races. And the voter turnout was so bad. You can think about that. Our voter turnout, I think the final number is going to come out to like 12%, which is pretty dismal. And it's a primary. And people, it's a primary. Here in Hudson County, primary is the election. A Republican winning a county seat, it's not going to happen. So that is the election. We can't get the friggin' numbers on a low voter turnout. What would the chances be of getting these numbers if we had a high voter turnout? And it's Hudson County. You hear stories of some of the other counties. I think in the last election cycle, Monmouth County had an issue with the software, and they corrected that. But it isn't like it happens every time. There's a problem with the whole management of this if it happens every time. And it wasn't even the case of the new machines. Like I said, we could have used some more instruction on that. But it's the same no matter what voting machines we use. You don't get the cartridge, you don't have the data. Like I said, I'm not even sure why that can't be transmitted to the cloud, but probably smarter people than me out there. But think about that. We had a low voter turnout, and we couldn't get the friggin' numbers. What would happen if we had a high voter turnout? It would be worse. It would be like, we'd have election results on Labor Day. That has to stop. If the clerk's office, and I'm going to say they can't because they never do, can't get the cartridges to the clerk to get that data so we have a winner that night, at least have all the data in. If we're waiting for provisionals, that's understandable. But we should have the data from all the machines. If the clerk's office can't do that, the Hudson County clerk's office, Junior Maldonado's gang, and him also, then get the cartridge recoverers. We'll have a separate group there. Or more likely, and the more sensible thing, is to have a reliable entity, in this case, the Sheriff's Department. At polls close, sheriff grabs the cart, off they go. And this way, we have results. It was close with Commissioner Romano and Commissioner Lipsky. And at the end, they pulled it out with such low voter turnout when you had a 200-point lead, 200-vote lead. That's almost a landslide when you have 12%. All right, that's my riff on the county clerk's department. You're watching the City Show. I'll be right back.
I've got cancer.
We've got the highest level of cancer care,
the latest clinical trials,
researchers working to find a cure,
and nurse navigators to guide you every step of the way.
At New Jersey's only NCI-designated Comprehensive Cancer Center, your safety has always been our top priority.
I've got cancer, but I also have peace of mind.
Jersey City Medical Center and Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Let's beat cancer together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County because your heart doesn't beat just for you. So get it checked. When your bones are healthy, it lifts us all. We're delivering joy daily in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing and providing New Jersey's only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. We'll continue building our medical network and taking every precaution for your safety so that we can all be healthy together.
We're back, City Show. Pat O'Melia here. Show before hiatus. We have to ensure somehow that we get these numbers on election day because it's rude to the candidate. You know, you want to know if you won that night. Now, again, Hudson County swept it. The progressive, the opposing group there, the Progressive Democrats of Hudson County, came close. But really, you know, you lost by a couple of hundred votes when the turnout's 12. I don't know if that's really close. But congratulations to everyone. Everybody worked hard. Jersey City is going online with permits. It's kind of frightening. Your HEDC, Housing Economic Development, and the JCMUA, the Water Department, and Sewer and Water, their permits are going online on June the 14th. I question that. Sounds kind of frightening to me that the city is going online. And the thing is, I heard no testing of this, no parallel programs, none of that going on. I just don't have the faith in this going smoothly. I hope it does. You know, if Mayor Fulop was enacting this himself, because he's a techie guy, it would go smoothly. But it's delegated. The city just doesn't instill confidence in anything online. You know, there were issues with the payments on the tax payments. Don't forget the payroll debacle, where we switched payroll companies. You'd think we would have, you know, started like before the end of last year, like the last quarter on dual payrolls, make sure you got everything square. Of course not. We don't do that. Do you feel confident? Now, you're going to apply for these permits, whether it's, historic preservation, a building permit, a zoning issue, and then when it comes to the MUA, there's a lot down there, you know, permit-wise. Do you feel, and this will go through the city, I don't think it goes directly through the MUA, the autonomous agency, do you feel confident listing all your personal information online? Yeah, your financial, your address, your personal, you know, because it's all going to be on that permit. Do you feel comfortable about that in the city? In an era when, you know, major corporations are getting hacked, there's ransomware, you get the notices all the time that, you know, your personal information has been exposed, and companies that are, you know, probably more computer savvy than the city of Jersey City, or any municipality for that matter, because you hear it all the time, where municipalities have been hacked or they're being held for ransomware. Yeah, I would hope, and I didn't hear anything about this testing, I would hope they would test this and test this and test this and run a parallel program. Because, the parking enforcement, I just went down to the new public safety building to pick up my parking permits all the way down on MLK Drive down there in the new public safety building, which you really can't miss the new public safety building when you're riding down MLK. It's huge. It stands right out there. I went down there. My daughter ran in to get the permits. The parking authority is supposed to be online now. And no more paper permits. And then the way it's going to work with the Jersey City Parking Enforcement, no more paper permits. Your licenses will be recorded. Your license plates will be recorded with the city, and their PEOs will have license plate readers. And it will show up that you have your zone permit, this illegal, your lot permit, whatever the case is. That hasn't happened yet. And if I'm not mistaken, I signed a contract with that company about almost a year ago. So hopefully there's parallel testing and getting the bugs out of the system. But when you think about it, you can pay your taxes online. There were some issues with that, but I haven't heard nothing since. So I guess they got that down pat. You're going to have this new system here with HED and the MUA. Then you got the parking authority is going to have an online program. You think anybody at City Hall said, we should probably combine these, have one company doing all these online, because when that issue happens, and it will, one call to handle it all. There's a problem with this system, we got one company to call. I almost guarantee you, each one of these online programs are from a different vendor, a different company. They're probably nowhere in New Jersey, by the way. It's probably like in Arizona or something like that. That will be running these through. And it brings me back like with the old closed circuit TV cameras we have had in Jersey City. Mayor Fulop streamlined that. We used to have all these different manufactured cameras. There was no you couldn't swap parts out. It was a problem. The cameras became obsolete. You couldn't get parts for them. Mayor Fulop has kind of streamlined that. Now we have all the same cameras, so it's very easy to maintain an inventory of replacement parts. I believe we went with a known company, so those cameras we're going to have backing going forward. I hope this works smoothly, and I hope it's encrypted, so when you put your information out there, it stays encrypted, and you don't fall prey to identity theft. And like I said, you hear it all the time. The municipalities are getting hacked. Your information is exposed. I just hope the city research this, but you keep going back to the payroll debacle that the city hopefully has settled by now, because we are in like June, but you still have some employees still complaining that, no, we're not getting paid yet. Work a 40-hour week, you should get a 40-hour paycheck. Hopefully it works well. It starts on the 14th of June. That's the rollout. That's what the attended date. And hopefully it goes smooth. I'm sure you'll get some tweets. Mayor Fulop is very good at keeping the city abreast of what's going on through his Twitter and his Instagram. So make sure you're following the city. What we're going to do right now, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a possible redesign for JFK Boulevard in Hudson County. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Jersey City Medical Center has a passion for heart health. We're Hudson County's only full-service heart hospital, with innovative technologies and premier cardiovascular physicians, a partnership with Rutgers Health, the latest technology and medical advancements, and nationally renowned care for every heart in every community. Whoever your heart beats for, our hearts beat for you. Jersey City Medical Center.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
We're back. Pat O'Melia here, City Show. Hopefully that goes smooth with online permits. Hopefully we get our parking permits online pretty soon also. All right, JFK Boulevard. There's a community meeting at 31 School. That's on St. Paul's and Kennedy Boulevard, hosted by Commissioners Lipsky and O'Day. And they're going to talk about improvements to Kennedy Boulevard. And the improvements they're talking about, I should read these things as I write it, but the improvements they're talking about, dedicated bus lanes, bike lanes, traffic calming devices. Now, I've been riding JFK Boulevard for about 54 years. And with the exception of up by where Toys R Us was, the old Sears that's at 36th Street, we have 495 going to the Lincoln Tunnel, where that redesign occurred by Schutzen Park, trying to get some more recent landmarks for you. Columbia Park, you got the shop right up there. I remember it as the old Sears building. That redesign is a bottleneck. It was poorly thought out, and the people who know that area and ride that part of the boulevard, you're shaking your head going, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's probably the only issue I have with Kennedy Boulevard and Journal Square. Journal Square, the main issue with Journal Square is double parking and deliveries. Now, the deliveries come and go. Double parking is constant. You know, it amazed me with the parking authority through all the various directors of the parking authority. I would say, shouldn't you just have a PEO, parking enforcement officer, have two of them on Journal Square? Because they would cover themselves in tickets. Not a problem, because there's constant double parking. And the double parking brings you down to one lane each direction. You know, Kennedy Boulevard is one of our few two-lane roads, 2 lanes each direction in Hudson County, particularly in Jersey City. Journal Square, the double parking, and the other thing on a pedestrian basis, crossing Journal Square proper. You know, that's basically by the Lowe's Theater, going over to the Port Authority. It's pretty wide. Not as wide as it was in my youth, where you had to do some real jogging across Kennedy Boulevard to do it in one light. You'd get caught on the island, and you waited till light change. That's really the only problems that come to mind on Kennedy Boulevard. And again, I've driven Kennedy Boulevard for a lifetime, basically, from North Bergen to Bayonne, and then through into Bayonne, and I still do it today. I'm on Kennedy Boulevard every day, being in the Heights. That's the only areas that pop up in my head that could be addressed. And up by 36th Street there in Union City by the old Sears Columbia Park, they just redesigned that about 10 years ago. They're not going to rip that up and do it again. And I always have concerns about redesigns. And if you're a lifelong resident of Jersey City, you've been here a while at least, if you remember the old Charlotte Circle and the Tunley Circle. Now, I grew up on that. I was very used to a real circle. I had no problems with that. The rest of the city had no problems with it. And, of course, we redesigned it. Now, there are huge backups there. Yeah, it's something with Star Trek with Scotty. The more they overthink the plumbing, the easier it is to stop up the drain. You know, there's a lot of validity to that. The old circles move the traffic far better. I realize progress comes. You know, I'm born and dog past Jersey City at the bottom of St. Paul's Avenue by the Hackensack River, and there's a ton of change there because we got the new bridges, we got the new Charlotte Circle there, and I just recently, I was Mother's Day. I was going to visit my mother's grave and my mother-in-law's grave, and going through Dogpatch. Born and raised in Dogpatch, mind you. I took the wrong turn, and I was forced to go out to Route 7 to North Arlington. I was going to hit Westside Cemetery first, then go out to North Arlington. I was like, all right, Mom, we'll go see Mom first in North Arlington. Because I didn't know the lay of the land in the area where I grew up in because of all the changes. JFK Boulevard is Hudson County's main thoroughfare. It is the heart of Hudson County. And to make wholesale changes to it. And again, you know, as a kid, I walked on Kennedy Boulevard. I biked on Kennedy Boulevard. And like I said, I've driven on Kennedy Boulevard for the last 54 years. I've never had any issues on Kennedy Boulevard. I know there was just an accident in that area by where they're having a meeting, for that matter. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. There was I didn't even get the final results. I don't remember if they published it or not. There was a car. There was some sort of an accident. Car burst into flames. You're not going to speed on Kennedy Boulevard. And if you are, it's going to be like 2 in the morning. You're not speeding on Kennedy Boulevard at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're not speeding on Kennedy Boulevard at 2 in the afternoon. So I'm not sure what you're going to redesign here. If you're going to make some dedicated lanes, you're really going to cause a bottleneck here. Again, I've been on Kennedy Boulevard my entire life. Yeah, I don't know if I'm an exceptional driver or I was an exceptional bike cyclist, or an exceptional crossing of the boulevard person. I've never had an issue. And I start to wonder why there's so many people that have a problem driving down Kennedy Boulevard or crossing Kennedy Boulevard or riding a bike on Kennedy Boulevard. I did all that from a young kid who went to St. John's School up there to a young kid that was 10 years old riding bikes to a young kid that shouldn't have been driving a car when he was like 12, 13 years old. But even back then, I had no issue with JFK Boulevard. So hopefully, if we're going to do some redesigns, it is not something that's wholesale changes that just causes a huge bottleneck in Jersey City and Hudson County. All right, we're out of show. You be good. You be safe. Enjoy your summer. I'll talk to you on the Shore Show. Good night.